Okay, so I, like many others, love Hanna Karlzon or especially love her art. Don't know her personally, but and as many of you know, she's going through a tough time now, and yeah, and I found a tag that I liked that has a few questions about Hanna Karlzon and sort of the colorist relation to her books. So the first, and it's by Camille Coloriage, and then translated into English by Color Me Stress Free. So yeah, and I'll jump straight into the questions. The first one is, how long after you started coloring did you buy your first Hanna Karlzon book? And it was actually my second ever coloring book. It was Magical Dawn, and I bought it 1 to 1.5 years after I got my first book. So my first book was a Kirby Rosanna's book, and then I had only that one for like 1.5 years. And then I bought my Magical Dawn. So she was my second ever coloring book artist. And I found it in a bookstore. Since I live in Sweden, they usually have a few Hanna Karlzon books and a few Maria Trolle books always out. But yeah, what was your first Hanna Karlzon book and why did you choose this one? And what was the latest book you bought? Okay, so the first one was Magical Dawn, obviously. And I actually, I think if I remember correctly, I watched a few flip-throughs, and Magical Dawn had the most pages that I liked. So that's why I chose it. And then, of course, it was helped by the fact that the bookstore had it in stock, so I could like get it in hand instead of having to order it. And the latest book of hers I bought is her latest one, so Tales from the Witch's Cottage. And the reason why that's the latest one is because it came out the latest. But yeah. How many of her books do you own? I own all of her her original series. I also own Spirit Animals, but it's not in book format. Instead, I've taken it apart and I have the pages in my folder, which I'll show later on. And then I also own all of her in her newer series. And here's the third one there. I don't own any of her artist editions, any extra copies, or any of her postcard books. I own this, basically, is what I'm trying to say. I don't own Guldkorn, Corns of Gold. I've been eyeing it every time I go to the bookstore, but I haven't bought it yet. Okay, the next one is, can you order them from your favorite to least favorite and why? Yes, I can. The first one is still, for me, Magical Dawn. It has, I love pictures like this. I think it's the most imaginative, in my opinion, of course. But like, with the cat, for example, it has just some wonderful spreads and a few of my favorite portraits as well. And yeah, love this. It's definitely number one. There's really no competition for me. Second, I think from second to about, let's see, somewhere here, these 4 books are sort of at the same level for me. So Tales from the Witch's Cottage I put as number 2. Yeah, I really like the vibes in here, and I really think that it's a year-round coloring book, and I like this one a lot. So I put it as number 2, but as I said, these sort of come in, yeah, they're really close together. Next up we have Seasons. I love this. I especially love the portraits in here. These big ones that I've done, but there are a few more that I love a lot also. And I love the concept of having different seasons. Yeah, I really like Seasons. Then we have Jewelry Box. And now Jewelry Box, I have to say, I've pulled out a few pages from Jewelry Box. Not that many, but a few. And it's not because I like... Yeah, it was a thing I did because I got anxiety over not wanting to color every single page. So, for example, here's, for example, is a page pulled. I don't even remember what page was here, but I know that I didn't want to color it. And yeah, and you know, I'm the owner of my books. I do what I want. So I took out a few pictures that I didn't want to do, and that eased my... because I had like a hang up over wanting to only own books where I wanted to finish every single page in them. And the fact that a few pages in, for example, Jewelry Box didn't talk to me, for some reason stressed me out. And I don't have that issue anymore, but I also don't regret taking out those pages, because it helped me then. And I mean, whatever floats your boat is my opinion about, like, because I refuse to be stressed about my hobbies. I have enough of that in my real life. Summer Nights is next up. I haven't pulled... I'll tell you I think it's only Jewelry Box and Spirit Animals that I've pulled pages out of. The rest are intact. But yeah, so Summer Nights is the next one. This is a new favorite. It's risen up lately. You know, are you also like that? That the books that have... when you get pages in a certain book that you like a lot, so These Owls, this one, and so on, this sort of elevated this book in my favorite list. The fact that I have pages I like, finishes I like in it, it's a bit weird. But yeah, so it's risen up lately. So those are those three. Next up we have Daydreams. I really like Daydreams. I almost like it, yeah, but it's still below the other ones, and I can't really tell you why. It's just a few of the pages don't really speak to me, like this unicorn page, and yeah, there are not that many pages that really talk to me. Like this doesn't talk to me as well also. And yeah, unlike other people or other videos I've seen, I'm not bothered by the draw your own patterns page. I do prefer my coloring books not to have them, because I feel like I need to fill that in as soon as possible. So I'm not stressed, but I get a bit like, I feel like I need to fill that in as soon as possible, so that the whole book is finished, because it's not finished at the beginning, right, when you get it. But I'm not, I don't really have a problem with filling it in. So I've done all the pattern pages. So for me, this book is finally finished now. I haven't colored them yet though. But yeah, I think it's that her style changed a bit afterwards, and also a few of these pages feels like they aren't really... yeah, I mean, her style changed afterwards to adapt to colorists, I think. It stopped being this detailed, and I love the detail, don't get me wrong. But yeah, Magical Dawn for me was the perfect combination of detailed but not too detailed, sort of. And then her later books are, I feel, maybe... I mean, it's slight differences, but I feel like Magical Dawn for me is the perfect one. Yeah, then we have Tales from the Forest Kingdom. I do like this book. I think the fact that I have a horrible page in here has put it... it is a work in progress. It's not... yeah, I'll get to that later on. It's on my flops. But yeah, it's... I think that has put it a bit further down my list. But I do like this one. I don't love it, but it's... I mean, no. I love all of Hanna Karlzon's books. But if I were to... Yeah, you know what I mean. The least loved one that I actually still kept in book format is Midnight Masquerade, and I can't really tell you why. Yeah, I don't really know. I don't know. I like this. I will color in it, but like there are a few pages here that don't talk to me, like her, like this one. Yeah, you know, not everything is for everyone. That's how it goes. So that's Midnight Masquerade, and or Tales from the Midnight Masquerade. And lastly, we have my Spirit Animals or Soulmates coloring book. And as I said, I've taken it apart. So these are the pages that I do like and want to color. And I have a few finishes as well, and a few works in progress. But I mean, everything you're not seeing right now are pages that I didn't want to color. But it's really weird because this one, for example, is one of my absolute favorite pages of Hanna Karlzon ever. So it had really high highs and really low lows for me. But like, yeah, but for example, Magical Dawn is out of this world. But Daydreams, it has a bit of an average, like all the pages are nice. I would like to color them, but they aren't like, wow, this is awesome pages for me. Not all of them at least, or not as many as in here. In here I have a few pages that really, that are awesome in my opinion. Like this one with the mice. I have the companion page, I've started that one, so it's not in here. But yeah. But everything you don't see there, except for a few finishes, which I have. Where are they? Ah, here. I'll just put that on my desk. Everything that you didn't see, unfortunately wasn't for me from that book. Yeah, all right. Next question is, will you buy her future books? Like, don't kill me, but I can't say yes, of course. Because for me, I don't really, I'm not a loyal consumer. I'll check out her new book, of course I will, and see if it's for me or not, and that's how it works in my little world. Actually, the previews I've seen aren't really in my something that I would want to color, so I'm not sure. That's the answer to that one. I can tell you because I haven't seen the flip through of it yet because it doesn't exist. So that's how that's that. Don't come at me. Next up is what picture did you color first and why? Okay, yeah, I actually tabbed it. See, haha, good girl. Oh, and it's the wrong one. Let's see. Where's my first? Here's my first. Okay, yeah. The keys. The keys was the first picture. But actually I tested the paper first here on my name, or yeah, here on my name, this, not nameplate page, copyright page. And you can't see it anymore, but this was a really horrible like tester page here. And then I later on colored it covered it with acrylic paint and did this thing. So you can't even see that. But my otherwise my first page was this keys, and this is done with Stabilo water-based markers and just a tiny little bit of shading with a normal pencil. And also there's a date written here. This is my oldest coloring date. And I don't dare focus again because I've had such issues with my phone trying to film this. Anyway, summer 2017 is the first date I have written. So that should be 1 or 1.5 years after I started coloring. So yeah. But yeah, these keys. Otherwise, quite soon after I did this and started the snake, still haven't finished the snake, I just went straight into one of my favorite pictures, this portrait. And I still like this a lot, actually. It was, I followed a tutorial by Peter Hewitt on the skin, and yeah, I really like this. It took a long while, but I was so happy. Let's see. Oh, and the reason why I did how I chose my first pages was first I tested the paper, then I wanted to test the paper a bit more and do something easy, so I did the keys. Then I thought I would do the snake because I wanted to have a double spread finished. Didn't like the snake, let it go, and instead jumped to one of my favorite pages. So that was my process in the beginning. Next up, do you color one of her pictures every month? I think yes. I think I do. Yeah, I think there hasn't been 1 month where I haven't, or probably there's been like 1 or 2 months. It's not a rule that I have or anything. It's just I just take up these books a lot because I like the quality and I love the designs. So I mean, why not? And I do like a few of her pictures I've done in more of a challenging or creative way, and a few of her pictures I've done more in a mindless way. So it's really I use these for everything. Love them. Next up, are you following a monthly challenge in one of her books now? And not a monthly one, but I do have as a goal to finish the bottles in season this year. I did that like maybe 2 years ago. I had a challenge to myself to finish one of these big double spread portraits for each season. But this year I'm doing the bottles. So I've done the winter one in January, and then we have the other ones that I want to do, one per season, somewhere here. Here we go. Oh, did I mark them? I marked them. Wow. Okay, autumn wins. And here we have the bright summer nights, and then we have the sunbeams and seeds. So yeah, that's sort of my monthly, or not monthly, seasonal challenge, I guess. Which type of illustrations do you prefer? Portraits, scenes, or flowers, or anything else? And I can't answer that. I love everything. Yeah, it depends on my mood. A portrait, it sort of depends on my mood. But for portraits, I usually want to be in a more of a creative mood. So I don't really color portraits mindlessly. But if I want to do animals, I've done both mindlessly and not, I think. Especially bugs. Bugs I can color mindlessly and not really care about it. But like this is, for example, a more creative picture. But this is also a scene for me. Scenes I usually go more when I'm in a more creative mood. And this also sometimes pictures start mindlessly. So this will probably not be, I mean, this is more of a creative spread. It has a creative energy for me, sort of. Does that make sense? I don't know. But the process of doing the background in this way is mindless, because you just you pick picking the colors is not mindless, but then actually doing the background is kind of mindless because you're just filling it in. So it's a mixture of both. But what I do, flowers I usually don't go too creative with, unless they're incorporated in a scenery page, which they usually are with Hanna Karlzon. So yeah. All right. Next question is, what illustrations do you... Oh no. Okay. Yes, that's right. What illustrations do you prefer to color the least? Good question. Why haven't I thought of the... it's probably pictures like... This one doesn't speak to me. Oh, okay. I can think of the pages that I've hidden, right? Or that I have... I'm not really thrown away. I don't know where my the spirit animals pages that I don't like, I don't know where they ended up. I think I have a pile of them somewhere. So if someone wants the pages I don't like, let me know, I can send them to you or something. But let us see what's hidden here, for example. Yeah, okay, so a few birds here that I don't like. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's just stuff that doesn't talk to me. I don't know. It's hard to say. Yeah, it's a mixture. It just depends. I think what I can... because I do like a few of her wallpaper. I'm not like hitting on wallpaper either. I have finished a few of her wallpapers and I kind of like them. This sort of thing I don't really like though. And yeah. I don't like... I also... No, I think it also depends on the color palette that comes to mind. So this picture I don't like because the color palette that comes to mind is sort of pastelly. If you've seen my finished pages, you know that I do color in pastel colors every now and then, and I like it. And I especially everything I say, you know, there's definitely exceptions to every rule, and I usually like other people's finishes in the color palette that I don't like actually using myself. Or yeah, it's kind of weird. So I guess, yeah, I don't really have a good reason for not liking stuff. I just, some things I love, some things I don't, and it's just, I don't know. Next up, do you hide the lines and how do you do that? I usually don't. I usually even, you know, make an effort to preserve the lines because, and this is just a silly thing, like ignore me please, but sometimes I feel like the coloring is like a project between me and the artist who did line art. So I want to elevate the line art, not hide it. But like, don't listen to that. It's just a weird hang-up I have. Do whatever you want. It's your coloring books, you know. But anyway, that's one little hang-up I have about covering the lines. That said, I do every now and then cover them, and I actually want to try actually doing, you know, when you hide them so well that it doesn't look like there ever was any line out there. But I haven't tried that yet. What I have done though is cover line art with white, and that's sort of let's see, yeah, where is that? Hide lines, here we go. You know, stuff like this. So covering the line out here with white, but I'm not really hiding the line art. The lines, they're still there, it's just in white instead of in black. And yeah, I don't know, it's a thing. I would definitely want to try to do one image where I actually try to hide the lines. Yeah, next up. Okay, show 10 flops and 10 tops. Okay, so let's start with the flops, shall we? Let's just put all the books on the same pile again. And I'll start with a flop from my folder. Here we go. All right, well, this is, yeah. This is actually the most atrocious one in my opinion. Or atrocious is harsh, you know. I never really think that the page isn't salvageable, but this comes close. It's the color combo I don't like. It's too all over the place. And I think because this is a marker base and I've started shading in with a pencil on the bows, I think when I go in and shade everything with the same color and maybe mute down some of the somethings that are bothering me, I don't even know what, maybe darken up a few other things, I definitely see that this can be solved. So I don't know, it depends on the definition of flop, right? For me, this is a work in progress, but it's a bad work in progress, sort of. So it's not a flop yet. And it can be saved, I think. I just don't know how yet, and I really don't like how it's going. But I will return to it one day. One day! Sometimes, you know, it's fun to actually, for me at least, it's fun to take a challenging whip and try to turn it. So yeah. Okay, here we go, another flop. This portrait. Yeah. I got some feedback before that people like this, and I mean it. You know, tastes are different. You might love this. I don't, and that's fine. There's no objective truth when it comes to aesthetics. But I don't like this, and I don't really know how to save it right now. Again, this is a work in progress, though. So again, it's more of a bad work in progress than it is a flop, because I think this is. I will save it someday, just not this time. What I don't like, I think, is the natural colors mixed with the hair. So the stark colors of the hair, and I thought it would be cool. And now I don't think that anymore. And I think now I don't really know how to. I'll come up with something. And again, a fun challenge someday to save that. Let's see, what's this? Is this something? What's this? No, okay. Never mind. Yeah, okay, so we have a flop in here. Oh yeah, this was the one you got a sneak peek of earlier. Yeah, I don't have much to say. Again, though, this is a work in progress. It will probably turn out fine in the end. This is water-based markers and ink pens. No, it's watercolors and water-based markers. I don't like it right now. It will probably turn out all right in the end. Yeah. Moving on. We have 2 flops in Daydreams. No, we have a top and a flop. Okay, where's this flop? Oh yeah, okay. I mean, again, this is something that some people will like a lot. I think this got a lot of likes on my Instagram, but I don't like this page. Yeah, I think the main reason why I don't like it, besides the pink, I like pink, but not this much pink. This much pink is too much pink for me. And I again, nothing wrong with. Yeah, I would probably like it more if it wasn't taking attention away from this picture. And yeah. Anyway, this is my first actual flop, because this is not a whip, and I have a hard time seeing how, because it's already, I think it looks finished to my eyes. I can't really think of anything that would I would like to that would help. Yeah, it's a flop. For me, I again, there's no right or wrong in aesthetics. You might disagree, and that's fine. Next up, we have, okay, this is a minor flop, but I had an idea of going from spring to summer to autumn to winter, and what I don't like is the fact that autumn, which is my favorite season, looks so dead. Or at least, oh, I just came up with the solution. Okay, good. This will not be a flop much longer. I think the solution is to turn the yeah, that will actually work, right? Yeah, I think so. Okay, so what okay, what I didn't like was the fact that this brown over here looked weird. It doesn't, because otherwise I've tried to think of, you know, matching, for example, the blue from the spring to the blue from the winter, and then a few other things, like having the pink going to red for the flowers in the summer to autumn, but then the brown from the autumn isn't reoccurring anywhere. But I think I'll fix that by doing more brown in the leaves and the stems of winter, and that should fix it for me. Good, nice, fun, great. But for now, and also like, and that just goes to show, I think, that for me, flops are just works in progress, more or less, that aren't finished yet, really. That's just, that's how I work. Here in Summer Night, I have marked a page. Oh yeah, it's this one. I actually did the tutorial on, or not a tutorial, whatever, color along, I don't know how I color, whatever, for the background of this one. And I really like the background, and I really don't like everything else, or I don't like the colors of everything else. And I've talked this one to death in my finished pages for that month. So yeah, that one's a flop. But it's not a flop enough to actually bother me too much, because it still matches the page between, and it doesn't really... It's fine. It's fine. I just don't like it, but it's fine. In Magical Dawn, I have... Oh, this one. Again, a work in progress. This was a flop, turned into something that is no longer, in my eyes, a flop. But for a long time, this was one of my least liked pages. Probably, it's not finished yet, but probably, I mean, it's hard to explain what was wrong with it, because now it's fixed, like, loosely. I still don't love it, but it's better. I had an idea of having, I wanted it to be dark down here and light up here. You see, it's the opposite right now. And I wanted it to be really light up here, as I said, but I had a black smear there from something. Oh yeah, no, I don't know, from something. And so that was one issue I had. I fixed that by changing the background gradient. Another issue I still have, is that I don't really like these color choices. Or they're fine, they're just not, they're not my favorite color choices, I guess. Again, I love these color choices in other pictures that other people do. So I probably will like the end result. I just don't like working with them, sort of. Or I don't know. I don't know. Does anyone know how our minds work? Yeah. So that's a thing. Yeah. It was more of a flop. Now it's turning into less of a flop and more of a whip. Or like, no, it was a whip before also. Yeah, you know. Let's see. I have a few more here. Here. Okay, yeah, this one. This one is an actual flop. Still a work in progress though, and I will probably just cover it. But I wanted to do the Tiny Tin challenge, so, you know, use just 12 pencils. And unfortunately I chose a set that I hated, the Statler Morris Club. Oh my god, yeah, horrible pencils in my opinion. Too hard, no pigment, and the color palette, as you can see, is just it's too rainbowy, at least for this page. So I didn't even finish that challenge, and I won't be doing that in those pencils. I will cover this up in other pencils, or I don't know what I will actually do. I saw also later on that these could be candles. So you could do really cool stuff with like having that as a light source. So maybe I'll just erase this. But then again, I have some bleed through from this page over here. So yeah, I don't know. It's a challenge. Oh, okay. I've marked this girl as a flop. This is a flop turned into not a win and not a top, but an okay. But this was a flop for so long, for years and years and years, like, and we're talking like 3 years maybe. And she went through like 10 iterations, and yeah, the main issue was again with the color palette, and especially her skin. She had zombie-like gray skin for a long time, and I've gone in and fixed it with you know, pastel and with layers and layers and layers of pencils on top, and you know, it's gone a bit better each time. And she's now I think I'm leaving her be, because also like, yeah, now I'm leaving her be. You can see I did start out ambitiously by like adding her cloak and the tree in the background, and but then it just, yeah. So this was a flop for a long time, but yeah, just not giving up, I guess. And this is a current flop. This is yeah. I love the background, but I think I want to cover up the background anyway. And yeah, because I think it's locking me. The background is the colors of the background are locking me in to this concept, and she looks a bit dirty over here as well. Not really sure I like the color of her hair. The pity is that I love this. This is one of my favorite portraits in the book. So yeah, yeah. But that's how it goes sometimes. And as I think I might return to this one and fix it sometime in the future. Not right now though, because right now I'm still too locked in this concept, as I said. That's also a good thing, like, that works for me. If I do something that I'm not happy with, so something that turns into a flop, leaving it be for like, I mean, even like 1 or 2 years makes me be able to, when I return to it, I'm able to throw away the hours spent on something. So I might, right now, I'm not yet ready to sacrifice this background. I spent a lot of time with this background. I like how the background turned out. So I don't want to change that, right? But in 2 years' time, when I come back to this, I will have forgotten how long I spent doing this background, and I won't be that attached to it. And maybe in 2 years, I'll realize that, hey, for this picture to work, the background should be black acrylic paint, and I'll just cover it. And that will work for the picture. But yeah, but I'm not there yet. I'm not ready to sacrifice. I'm still too in love with the pieces of it. Do you get what I mean? I don't know if I was good at explaining that, but like getting distance from the... yeah, getting distance is good, I guess, what I'm trying to say. So that's... I think those were the 5 flops, and let's spend a little less time on the tops, shall we? This rabbit is a top. I love it. Green, monochromatic image. Can't really go wrong with that. A lot of fun also. What I did was just do color the whole page with the green, and then that sort of made me feel like, okay, it can't get much worse than this, right? So it gives me more freedom. So that's also a good thing, like ruining pictures intentionally. Not for everyone, of course, but works for me. This is a top. I love this. I love the colors. I like this browns with the pink. Love that. Yeah, and it's Inktense, water-based markers, and polychromos. And I love how the skin turned out on that. Yeah, it's just... yeah, if I knew how I did that, oh, my skin would always be nice, but it's not. Here we have a few more tops. This one is a top for me. It's a recent top. I love that background, and it was really fun to do as well. I think I listened to an audiobook doing it. Another top, I had a sugar skull spree and drew in these designs on my own, inspired by some Pinterest makeup artists. A lot of fun. And the next one is also a sugar skull. No, it's not, okay. But there is another sugar skull further back. This one I like. This one is a top for me. Yeah, I was really, this was a period where I tried to figure out how to do a bouquet background, and I had still haven't quite managed it. And I mean, just looking at it from trying, and I mean a realistic bouquet background then, but yeah, so looking at it from this is a bouquet background perspective, this isn't the top, but looking at it from, for me, but looking at it from the whole page, I like it. I like the colors especially, and I like the, yeah, the whole atmosphere of it, I think. I like that. Yeah, I think that's, oh no, okay, another one here. Yeah, the sugar skull, this one, I already showed that. Yeah, it's, yes, I love that one. Whoa. Here we have a few more. We have my cats. I like this a lot. Water-based markers and polychromos, and then there's stickles in the background. Oh, and white gel pen, of course. This one is also a top for me. This one was really simple, and it actually grew on me later on. But this is ink tens and polychromos, and some water-based markers in some of her clothing, I think. Like that a lot. I didn't like the yeah, I didn't get this weird cat at the beginning, but I really like the colors of it, and again I like the atmosphere of it. So that's another one. Next up, let's see, is there anything here? No. Here in Daydreams, yeah, okay. In Daydreams we have this one next to the flop is a top. So yeah, the fact that, as I said, I think I don't like this one a lot because it's stealing attention away from her. And I added the girl in on my own. This was for the HK5 project. And I really like how the hair turned out, especially. The girl is sort of copied from another of Hanna Karlzon's girls, so I can't really take 100% credit for that. I did change her a bit, I think. But yeah, love the hair though. And I love the idea. I remember I was a bit disappointed in getting such a simple picture because I joined the live stream a bit late, so I got that one. But yeah, I'm really happy that I did the thing with it. And let's see, nothing here. Nothing here. Oh, another top in smyckeskrinet. I think it's another portrait. Yeah, her. I like the skin again. I don't know if you can see, it's a bit washed out on camera. Maybe I'll manage to edit it a bit so that the colors are more true. But yeah, I like this. Again, with a bit of a crazy makeup, and the hair is not perfect. So I mean, it's not a top, but I mean, this for me, this is just the right amount of effort. And to make a result that I'm really happy with. I could put in even more time into her hair, as I said, but I really don't think it's needed. And also, like, I almost like the fact again that I left. I don't know. I like that a lot. That I left the line art of the artist sort of speak a bit instead of like coloring it over. I don't know. A bit on the fence about that. Last question. What are your current whips or current works in Hanna Karlzon? And let's see. I hope I've typed them. Here's a recent one. Current one. Did I have anything in here? No, I think those are the two I'm working on currently, right? Yeah. So I always have a few works in progress that that are sort of more recent ones, and those are. I mean, I have a lot of works in progress in my Hannah Karlzon's book all the time, so there's always something that I can pick up. But what I'm currently focusing on for real is this work in progress. This is for a buddy color with the Norwegian colorist. And this right now is an Inktense base, and there's a bit of marker dotting in the background, which I will then now go in and shade everything with polychromos on top. And I am thinking of doing yellow butterfly wings. Not sure about anything else. So, but yeah, that's the current whip. And then I have a recent finish, so spoilers for this month's finishes. But this was, I don't know, I just got the feeling one evening and did this one kind of quickly. Inktense and polychromos, and I think it's water-based markers on the, like a base on a few things. But yeah, lot of fun and really simple. Yeah, tell me if you, or yeah, I do have plans to do one such quick color along someday. But yeah, that's and that was the Hanna Karlzon tag, or tag Hanna Karlzon, and I really enjoyed this, Camille and Color Me Stress Free. I'm really happy that you did this, and yeah. See you in my next video. Bye.